Come here. Welcome to the Famous Foxes Aftermath Show, live every Sunday on Leicester Fan TV. Come on, you Foxes. Good morning, Foxes fans. How the devil are you? How's your weekend been so far? We got 3 points. It was a huge win, but enough on that in a minute. Welcome to the original Sunday morning Leicester City football show, where you know what day it is. It's Sunday. It's 9:30 a.m. It's time for the Famous Foxes Aftermath Show, run by us fans in here for you fans out there. And you know what? Your opinion really matters. Get them comments in now. Let's get going. It's kick-off time. Come on, you Foxes.
The Leicester City machine is on the march again.
Leicester Fan TV presents a variety of content like fan discussions, match analysis, and engaging with Leicester fans worldwide. We want your views live, thanks to our sponsors, Everard's, Pucker Pies, Hologram, Take Me, Newbie & Co, and the Foxes Arms.
Want to watch more content like this? Hit the like button. Give us your views. Hit subscribe to Leicester Fan TV and make sure to follow Leicester Fan TV on all socials.
Morning all, hope you're well, I hope you're good. If you want Reader, sorry, I don't know where he is. I think he's overslept. I'm not sure where he is. So you've just got me, Nick and Josh. When he joins, he's just had to change his laptop for a minute. But very strange game yesterday, a huge 3 points. I'm happy for the 3 points on the international break, but does it paper over the cracks? Two bad teams. I'm not sure how to get this. Are you a glass half full, 4 points from 2 games, or are you a glass half empty with 2 wins in 11? Has it saved Martin Cifuentes' job for another few games? I'm not sure. I'm not sure at all. We shall see. There for comments coming up. Gray Richardson says, terrible game, Jamie. Yes, we got 3 points, but it painted over the cracks, and now we have an international break to stop the momentum we were going to get. We had the same against Swansea, though. We had the same. We beat Swansea, had an international break. That was our last win against Swansea, and then that was 11 games ago. Has Reedy been on the Raz? I don't know. Has Reedy been on the Raz? I would love to ask him. We don't know. Well, hold on, what was that comment there? Morning, Jamie. Time to celebrate. Yes, time to celebrate. The players look like they enjoyed it. Dakar would do well on Strictly. I'm going to come to Dakar in a bit, to be honest. I think he's got a rough end of the stick yesterday from a lot of players. For a change, the subs made a difference. Yes, they did. Let's not be negative. They dug deep and got a win. Yes, Craig, they did dig deep. Dug deep. That's a bit of a tongue twister, that is, for this time on a Sunday morning. Let's bring Nick in. Like I say, I'm just waiting for Josh to sort his laptop out, and then we'll be with you. Morning, Nick. How are you, pal?
I'm all right, mate. Yeah, how about yourself?
I'm good. Yeah, a huge 3 points. Was the performance better, or have we been won over by the result and the injury time winner? I mean, have we been won over by it? Thinking, oh yeah, we won 2-1, but we've glossed over the performance.
The performance wasn't great again for me, but you can't grumble because we got the 3 points. I mean, Norwich were woeful yesterday. I'm not going to lie. Obviously they were that bad. They sacked the manager, didn't they, last night?
Well, it was El Sacchio, wasn't it, really? Whoever lost, I think was going to get the sack, to be fair.
I know. I mean, I heard all these rumours about Marty getting the tin tack, but let's be fair, mate. Who are you going to bring in? It's the same players that they've got to work with. You could put Klopp or Ancelotti or even a prime Alex Ferguson. It'd still be the same results because the players ain't good enough. I think we're kind of stuck with what we got. We wanted this rebuild. We never got it. I don't know what more. We can all dream of having a player, of a manager that will play attacking, counter-attacking football, that plays 2 to the top, etc. But the board won't allow it because they want this tiki-taka 10,000 passes before you get anywhere near the opponent's box. That's what they want.
Yeah. Just going to bring Josh in now. He's just appeared. Let's see. Morning, Josh. How are you, pal?
Morning, mate. I'm okay, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I've just asked Nick the question. I'm not sure because you're trying to get your laptops, whether you heard it. It was a huge 3 points yesterday we got. The performance was better, or have you been won over by the actual result of winning 2-1 with an injury time winner? What's your view on it? Was it a good performance? Was it the injury time winner that's made us all excited?
I don't think the performance was in fact, I think the performance was quite poor up until Norwich going ahead. And then I think the goal kind of sparked a reaction from the Leicester players. And I think once the goal went in and Martin made the subs, I think then we started to see a good performance. And I think, in my opinion, it's not a good performance, but they needed the win to take off the negativity around the squad of players at the minute after the form they've been in. So getting the win so late and then seeing the togetherness with the squad, which I think a lot of criticism goes their way for some being accused of not caring. But I think if you watch the goal back from so many different angles, you see the likes of Mavididi, Thomas, Dakar, Wings, all celebrating it like a team should do rather than them not doing it. So I think there's a lot of positives, but I am slightly concerned by how poor Leicester were up until going behind against a team who obviously are not doing that well this season.
I mean, the first 15, 20 minutes, Josh, Norwich looked like a top of the table team, didn't they? Let alone a team that had lost 6 on the bounce at home.
Yeah, they definitely had more about them in the first half hour, I think. But it got to the point in the first half where it felt like it was just two teams petrified of making a mistake because they knew if they did, the fans would then turn on the players at the time. So 0-0 at half time was exactly what I was expecting. And then when Norwich went ahead, I did not think they were going to then let their lead slip. And I did not think that the Leicester players would manage to pull themselves through. But you saw as soon as Dico De Rees scored, Norwich's heads just dropped. The fans started singing about the board. And the problem is it's the same thing I say about Leicester. There's so much negativity around the board at the moment that what's going on off the pitch is never the players' fault. So I always say that when fans start singing about the board when something goes wrong, it doesn't help the players on the pitch. And I think that kind of helps in Leicester's favour last night.
Yeah, Nick, do you think we actually got a response? I mean, you were there on Tuesday night, Nick. Did we get a response yesterday from Tuesday night's game? Because we could have literally had 6 points from 2 games, which would have been fantastic, but we've ended up with 4 points from 2 games. Did we see that response?
I don't think we got it in the first half because, as I say, it was at times it was dreadful, a bit like the Middlesbrough game. It was a hard watch, but you could argue, obviously, as soon as Norwich got their first goal, our lot pulled their socks up a little bit and thought, okay, we need to go and get 1 and possibly 2 to win the game. So, but there is a stat out there for this season. I mean, we've not put a 90 minutes performance all this season. Norwich, there's a stat out there that they crumble in the second half anyway. So for them going 1-0 up in the second half, as Josh has just said, as soon as we got the equaliser, they just crumbled and that was it. So really, you would have thought, okay, we can nick this and get the 3 points.
Well, yeah, that's true there. Adam's just put here, well, not Adam, sorry. Not good to lose Ben Nelson. I mean, it looked like he had a decent game against Middlesbrough, and he was looking like he had a decent game yesterday against Norwich. He's unlucky, isn't he? Because he's gone down. I think he's twisted his ankle. It wasn't like a break. It was either twist or a sprain. He's just landed funny. From me watching it on the TV, he just landed funny on it, and he's just gone arse over tit. But hopefully, it isn't as bad as it actually looks. He went off with the braces on, the splint on, and on the stretcher. So hopefully it's not as bad as we think.
Yeah, I mean, Cifuentes didn't really give much away about it because it would be hard to give an immediate reaction to it. I mean, the good thing is it's international break now, and he was meant to go with the England under 21. So whether he still will, I think if we get some information from England that he is going to be heading down with them, that's probably a good sign. If he pulls out, then we won't know until we hear from Cifuentes before the Stoke game. But yeah, I thought Ben Nelson was one of, if not the best player on the pitch for Leicester against Middlesbrough on Tuesday. I think coming into the squad after, because these players are not stupid. They see the calls on social media for him to come into the team. And I think after not playing for so long and after how poor he was at Huddersfield, to come into the team against one of the best teams in the league on Tuesday, I thought he was superb, and I think yesterday he's not letting the negativity around and the bad form impact his performance. And I actually think him and Vestergaard, I don't think there's many better centre-back partnerships in the league in this season. So yeah, if he's out, it does present a bit of a problem because I'm not sure who he puts in. My guess would be Caleb Okoli because I think he prefers him over Faz. But as much as Faz is not everyone's biggest favourite player, he played quite a big part in the winner yesterday. I don't think many centre-backs. It was only a simple pass, but it's a pass forward, which a lot of the time, a lot of Leicester players pass it sideways or backwards. That was a forward pass by Faz, which then set us up. But he's there to defend, not to set up goals. So I get why there's so much criticism.
I mean, Tony's had here, Josh. We won the game, but set up all wrong. We got lucky against a crap side. Think about it. The setup was a bit wrong, really, because we had a right back at left back. We had a full back. We had a centre back at right back. We had Jordan Ayew, who's really a number 10 on the left hand side. Yeah, the setup, you could say it was wrong, but is it? What do you think how do you think he's playing it? Why do you think he's playing it with Okoli at right back? Is that a bit more strength and depth at that position? A bit stronger player there than having your two like quick fullbacks.
I'm not obviously 100% sure why Cifuentes do it. The only thing I can say is from what I've watched this season, I'd say Luke Thomas struggled against Hull and Millwall, so took out the team. Christensen, he probably doesn't fancy him as much, else he would be in more than he has been. So I think the idea is to have the left back in Ricardo to either come inside or go a bit further forward, and then have 3 centre backs staying behind, which I think Okoli's probably quite athletic, so can play that. His only downfall is his passing, but if he's at right back, I think he's done very well at right back the last 2 games. So it does work. I think the Jordan Ayew thing at left wing, I don't actually know where Jordan Ayew's best position is, because I think playing Jordan Ayew at left wing, you need him to have a 10 out of 10 game to excuse to not having Mavididi or Monga on. But then on the other end, you've got Monga and Mavididi in the past 2-3 weeks. Whilst Leicester have been in bad form, neither of them have done anything to give them a defence to be in the starting lineup. So I don't necessarily think yesterday was a lucky win. I don't actually think you can be lucky in football. I think both goals were well worked. And then it's very easy for fans who were quite down before the game and said, I knew that we'd lose, to then be like, oh, well, it was a lucky, scrappy win. But they've come from behind after winning 1 game in 10. Marty got his subs right, and they've come from behind with 2 well-worked goals. And the likes of the players like Patson Daka, who he's getting a bit of criticism at the minute. I'm sure you're aware, because he's not scored, but a lot of strikers, I don't think Carranza or Ayew do that header to Reed for the equaliser. So yeah, I think the setup was slightly wrong. I don't think I would have done it, but I think his subs after the Norwich goal kind of put it back on track, and I think it worked. Well, obviously it worked because they ended up winning. Yeah,
the subs changed the game. But Nick, I want to talk about Daka. I know you're not the biggest fan of Daka, but when he gets no service, he can't do anything. I know, yes, he had 1 chance yesterday, 1 header that he could have done better with, but he runs, he harries, he chased the keeper down twice and nearly got an interception twice. He got an assist. He pressurises. I know he's there to score. He's getting paid to score goals. But if you're pressing from the front, you need someone like that, because Ayew and Carranza don't do that. And I honestly think that was one of Daka's better games this season.
Yeah. I mean, as you just said, I'm not Daka's biggest fan, but he did all right yesterday under the circumstances. But for me, if we are playing Daka, I personally think you go 2 up top and have Carranza with them, because they're both used to playing as a partnership rather than leading the line on their own. If you look at their previous clubs, we bought Daka from Salzburg. He was in a partnership. He was doing well in a partnership. And the same with Carranza. When he was getting his goals in the MLS, he was in a partnership. So to expect him to lead the line, especially after we've had the best part of 10 plus years of the GOAT, who's now gone, bless him, play him as a 2. You could have either Ayew or Carranza, and then have Daka as the main focal point in the striker with his pace.
Well, yeah, I would have it, but I just slightly different from that bit, Josh. Bobby De Cordova-Reid, is he one of the most underrated players in the squad at the minute? And have we? I don't know whether to say this or not. Have we sort of found the new Mark Albrighton kind of player? Because he works hard all the time. He gives his best a lot of the time. And is it worth a run of games, or is it because he's like slightly injury prone at the minute? We can't give him the full 90 minutes week in, week out, Josh.
Yeah, I think that's probably been his biggest problem since he joined the club. He's not had a run of form from the off, and when he has, he's always picked up an injury. We had when he scored against West Brom, he then came in for the Wrexham game, and then I think he picked up a knock. So that's obviously not helping. I actually think De Cordova is probably one of Leicester's going forward most threatening players, because I don't think you have the career that he's had and be a bad footballer overnight. I don't know whether there's a bit of negativity around him because he was a free transfer and he was part of the team that went down last year. But where he fits in, I'm not 100% sure. I think for me, I've heard people say that they should play a front two, but to me, I think it should. You have to chase something, and I think it's probably Mavididi. You put Reid behind the striker, and then you play Dakar, and then you've got then Reid basically playing as a shadow striker with Dakar. That's kind of two up top. The problem with playing two would be then how do you fit in the likes of Fatawu, Mavididi? You've then got to choose a certain midfield combination for it to work. So I think coming off the Norwich game, touchwood, Reid doesn't go. I'm not 100% sure if he's in the Jamaica squad, but touchwood, he doesn't go and get a muscle injury and then he's out, because when they come back, they've got, I think it's 4 really difficult games, and it's over the Christmas period. You're going to need players like Reid to coming up with goals like he did yesterday.
And Nick, Barry's also put a point about JJ. Does it also show that JJ played the full 90 minutes yesterday and won the game rather than replacing him after 60 minutes, Nick? But he's got a bit of a back injury, and I don't think he can manage the full 90 minutes. So, do you agree with that comment that because he was played the full 90 minutes, we won? I know they say don't fall in love with lone players, but is everyone sort of falling in love?
I'm sorry. I know they say don't fall in love with lone players, but for me, for how much we can potentially pay for him to get him permanently, it's a no-brainer for me. I like him a lot. I think having him on for the full 90 helped us massively, because when he went off against Middlesbrough on Tuesday night, for me, that's when it started to go wrong for us. When he came off, because obviously there's some sort of back issue, isn't there, with him at the minute? So I'm not convinced he's number 10 though. For me, I think he looks better when he's with Harry Winks next to him, and it's just those two as like the holders or whatever you call it these days. But no, he's a good player.
Oh, they keep changing all the names of positions all the time since I used to play. That was a long time ago. CP Brown, Josh, is on about Skip. Was Skip that bad yesterday? Or, I don't know, is he as bad as people make out? If he wasn't 22 million or however much he was, if he was only like 10 million, would they have given him a bit of rope? Or is it because he was 22 million, Josh, that they're thinking, yeah, he's not that good? Or, I don't know. My mind's still not made up over Skip, because sometimes he has half a decent game and then other times he's not very good. I just don't know. I really don't know about Oliver Skip.
Yeah, I think you're probably spot on that the fact how much he cost, and he probably wasn't the type of profile we needed at the time. That's probably makes him automatically a scapegoat at times. I don't think Skip. I mean, he didn't set the world alight yesterday, but I don't think he did much wrong. So yeah, but because midfield is such an important area of the pitch, and when Skip plays with wings, it means that Jordan James is higher up, and we all know that. I don't think James is good in the number 10. I mean, his goal comes from him being slightly deeper and the late runs into the box. That's what we signed him to do. And there's been at least 5 games where he's starting the number 10 and he's come deep, and it's all been like, right, well, he's better next to Wiggs rather than as a number 10. So I think that probably plays a part to why Skip gets a bit of criticism, because him in the team or Samara in the team means that James is playing out of position. But no, I don't think Skip was awful yesterday. I mean, he definitely weren't very good, but yeah, I think the price tag's probably not helped him, but he didn't set the price. That was Leicester's decision to pay that money.
Well, yeah, there's another one, Josh Fatawu. He was going in the championship season we won under Enzo. He was absolutely outstanding. Him and Mabadivi, and then last year he got injured, so we never saw the best out of him last year in the Premiership. So you can't really judge him on whether he's a Premiership player or not. But he doesn't seem to have done it this year, has he, Josh? And then yesterday he's done my old favourite. The winger, he's got the ball, he's got to the byline, he's crossed it for a defender. Crossed it in for a header, and the ball was in the back of the net. The old-fashioned wing play, instead of constantly cutting in and overcooking the ball at the cross and going to the back post. Fatawu, he seems to be one of these, give it to Fatawu. It's like, I've been saying this the last few weeks, Josh, that it's like when you play in school, when you used to play schoolboy football. Oh, give it to the best player, let him do the work, and then he'll score the goals. It seems like we're constantly giving Fatawu, and if he's having a bit of a dodgy day, it's not working. But yesterday, with that cross he did, got to the byline, put it across, perfect for JJ to score. What's up with Fatawu? Why isn't he playing to his best potential? Because at the minute, it just seems to be going rose head, or he loses the ball when he cuts it.
Yeah, I think with Abdul, I don't actually think he's playing like he does things that like he gets the ball on the halfway line and he'll beat a man. I don't think we have many players who can do that. So he does things quite often that if he didn't take away how much Leicester fans rate him and how good we know he can be, he's doing okay. It's just because we know what he can do, and he's doing the same thing every time. It's not working. Apart from the Swansea goal and the Charlton goal, he's not. The amount of times he's cut in and just whipped it in, and it's gone so high. And you look at the plays around, and I think 1 or 2 times each game, they kind of like encourage him to keep going. But after the third time when he's done it, and it's very clear all he's trying to do is cut onto that left foot and shoot. I think it frustrates his teammates. It frustrates me. I'm probably one of Abdul's biggest critics. But yeah, I think yesterday he showed something that I don't think we've seen from him in a Leicester shirt, of getting down the line and actually crossing it with his right foot. Because normally we've seen so many times he'll come back on his left, and because how good he is, championship teams now are putting 2 people on him, and once you get 2 defenders on him, and you haven't got a bombing wing back like most teams do, where you don't have overlapping wing backs, he's then got to either pass it back or cut inside. So it was good to see him do that. I kind of like how he's on social media, his little comments. I think we need a bit of personality, and I think no one's going to celebrate a Leicester win more than Abdul Fatawu, and we've seen that yesterday. So he knows what it means, and he does care. I do think sometimes though it gets to the point where, right, well, you've got players inside, just maybe lay it off. Your moment will come. Like we're so dangerous down the right, you will get a moment. But I'd rather have a player who fancies himself and keeps on trying than a player on the other side, like with Mavadidi, when he's got no confidence, he continuously doesn't beat his man. So I think it's finding the balance between the 2 wingers, which is one of Leicester's biggest problems at the moment.
Well, yeah, Neil Burstrom says Fatawu needs to get back to doing the basics. And also Chris Wall has said, hold on, let's get rid of that one. Fatawu needs shooting practice. If that had been Dakar yesterday, he'd have been ripped a new one, wouldn't it?
Well, yeah, but I like you though, mate. I've been, as much as I love Abdul, I do. I think he's such a talent. He's kind of been the last few weeks. He's kind of been a one-trick pony. So doing what he was doing yesterday to set up the goal, it was refreshing to see that old school, like you said, running down the wing and looking to cross it in. Because all they do is the teams know that, Fatawu is just going to cut on his left and try and smash it into the top corner, like he did against Swansea, and was it Charlton he did it? Yeah. You mark him out of the game, we've got no plan B in that regards, because there's no creativity in that squad whatsoever. I've been saying for years we need a playmaker. So if he can start doing that a bit more often, it might confuse teams. Well, what's he going to do? Is he going to do that run down the wing, cross it in, or is he going to cut up? He needs that sort of different aspect to his game. He also needs to come and help and track back and support the fullbacks more, for me.
Yeah, that would help.
You could argue that's the same with Monga and Mavavida, because the amount of times I've seen them this season where you've got either Luke Thomas or Ricardo, whoever's playing in the fullbacks, they've got no support from the wing, the wingers.
But We had the same with Mahrez, though, didn't we? With Danny Simpson behind him. Mahrez used to go bombing upfield, and Danny Simpson used to have 2 or 3 men, and he used to have to ask him to come back and say, Riyad, give me 5 minutes, please, help me out. But that's probably what it needs. It probably needs a fullback just to tell him, just to hang fire a little bit. We'll go on to, and we've got 2 weeks now until, I mean, we're into 12th place now, Josh. We've got a decent game against Stoke. Who would have thought? I mean, the table's very, I'm surprised at some of the names like Coventry, Middlesbrough, Stoke, who else is up there? Derby are up there. I'm very Bristol City are up there. I'm very surprised that the Millwall are there as well. How the table is beginning to stretch a little bit now. And some of the teams up there, are they just going to be 5-minute wonders, or do you think the top 10 is what the top 10 is going to be at the end of the season?
No, I don't think the top 10 now will be the top 10 by Christmas. I mean, you look at, I think Leicester will be up there. I think teams like Southampton will probably turn things around now. I think they've won 2-2. I mean, I think the Championship this season is the worst standard it's been for a number of years. I think all 3 relegated teams struggled. I mean, Ipswich now look really good. They battered Swansea yesterday and they've won a few games. Southampton look like they're going to start picking up points. But I think like no one expected teams like Stoke to be up there. Coventry was one of the favourites, but like Middlesbrough, how will they be now? Rob Edwards is leaving. I think the thing that sums up even more is the fact we've won twice in 11 games and we're still only 4 points off the playoffs. Like if you're in that form, you should be nowhere near the top. So I mean, if they beat Stoke after the international break, and then I think is it Southampton, if they get 4 points from that and they're back and they're near in the playoffs, I think the whole mood changes and turns. But I mean, Stoke's going to be a hard game. I don't think Stoke have come to Leicester and won since like 2014, I think, when we were back in the Prem. So they've not had much success at Leicester, but they're a sensational team this season. That won't be an easy game. But again,
that's Mark Robbins, isn't it? Mark Robbins is in control there, isn't it?
Yeah. And they were unlucky to lose to Coventry yesterday. It looked like they had a lot of chances and they just got done from a long throw. But yeah, I think playing better teams, I think the run of form that Leicester have got, playing the teams that are going to come out is actually going to suit them rather than, I think we struggle against teams who sit back. Like Millwall sat back a bit and then caught us on the counter-attack and didn't offer a lot. Hall came at us for like 20 minutes, took the lead and then second half sat back. So I think the run of form, it's hard on paper, but it's also the sort of games that you think, right, if you get a win here and you make a statement, then it goes from people calling for Cifuentes to go to them people saying, oh, what a win. That win at Norwich, it was a turning point.
See, I thought that against Swansea, I thought the Swansea game was going to be a turning point. And then that was our last win until yesterday, which is a bit... See, after that Swansea game, I did a bit with Owen on where the When You're Smiling podcast, and I said to him that Cifuentes was growing on me. But then a couple of weeks later, after the international break, things just didn't seem to be going right. The Portsmouth game, and then there was a couple, I can't remember the games. There was a lot of games quite quickly, wasn't there? And he just couldn't seem to keep control of it. And he's sort of gone back in my estimate. He's not quite going back that way yet. I just hope we build on it from after this international break, Josh. It'd be nice. The momentum we got from yesterday is going to be stopped a little bit by the international break. Sorry, I just want to see if he can push on from it, unlike when he against Portsmouth after the international break.
Yeah, and I think the Swansea win at the time, I actually went to the game in the away and there was such a good feeling after that. And yeah, it's kind of like the Norwich game. You kind of hope they build on that. A chunk of the squad will stay at Seagrave and work with Cifuentes. But, and by no means am I saying that Cifuentes is not to blame for this, but the Portsmouth goal that they scored came from a catalogue of playing mistakes. The 2 Hall goals were playing mistakes. The Millwall goal was a playing mistake. The Blackburn game, Samari had a touch and it's gone to their striker. And the second goal, he's just gone round Christensen. I think, the run of form has not been great since the international break, but so many avoidable playing mistakes that don't get me wrong, Cifuentes' subs in certain games has been questionable. His team selection has been a bit mind-boggling, but I don't think you can. Well, I mean, obviously fans can do whatever they want, but I think it's so harsh to put a lot of blame on Cifuentes when he's got players who are making mistakes and the manager can't stop that. He can only change it, and in all fairness, the last 2 weeks he's changed his squad. He's put players in and he's tried something new. So yeah, I think it's very easy to forget that he came in so late in pre-season and he didn't have a lot. You got to think the first few weeks he had with them players, the first 5 weeks, he would have had some players who were probably saying, I want to leave the club, didn't get a move, and then he's had to then rework them back into his plan. So I think we forget about that. It's completely different to the one that Maresca had. He came in and he convinced them straight away that they were going to be part of his plans, and he had from June, July, whereas Cifuentes is different. And from speaking to him in press conferences and seeing him after games, there's no one as frustrated with these mistakes than him. And I think maybe the last 5 days with the 2 games we've seen him make decisions, like Samare's not had a moment, has he, in the last 2 games? And
that's not a bad thing.
Yeah, exactly. He's been well. To me, I actually think Samari, there is a player in him. I just don't think it's in England. I think in Europe,
in France maybe, but not in the English game.
but that's the thing. He was questionable against Blackburn. By no means terrible, but he didn't do great, and he's not played the last 2 games. So Cifuentes is trying to change things. Whether it's the right ones, I don't know. But I mean, he's not played Faz either. He brought Faz in yesterday because he had to. And he's been quite suspect this season. So yeah, he's got time now. But like we said a minute ago, they've got some hard games coming up. So he's got to find something.
He definitely has. Nick, going on to the Stoke game, what would you like to see? I know we've got the international break. We don't know about injuries and that. But if everyone comes back with a clean sheet, fit bill of health and that, what would you like to see against Stoke? Roughly the same as what it was yesterday, or would you bring Cordova in for? The only thing is, like Josh says, if he's playing with Jamaica, he's not going to come back till Wednesday or the Thursday. So will he be tired from flying?
Well, let's be fair. It's what is it for Jamaica? A 9-hour flight from England. As I say, I think Bobby's doing all right. Has been an impact player at the minute, but for me, if everybody's got a clean bill of health, you don't change a winning team anyway. But hopefully, the ones that are staying, we can utilize these 2 weeks and get them fired up and ready. I would like to see us from the offset be a bit more in their faces, and because I think that's how Stoke's going to play against us. And we tend to, oh no, we can't deal with it. As soon as Portsmouth, for example, they came out that second half, got in our faces, and we just rolled over. So maybe a little bit more aggression, but you keep the same team. For me, I would like, if he can do it, I would probably say put Jordan James back next to Winks, take Skip out the firing on, and play Dakova Reed as the 10.
Could do that. That would be nice. Josh, your views on the Stoke game? Would you make any changes, or would you keep it the same?
I'd depend on if we're rolling Nelson out, which it could be a possibility. I reckon Okoli probably goes in, and then Ricardo goes right back. Thomas goes left back. I think I've just looked. Reed is in the squad, and Jamaica's last game is on Wednesday morning, so that's not terrible. It's not great.
No,
so
it'll be a bench job then.
And it's big. It's 2 World Cup qualifying games that they need to win if they want to go to the World Cup. So.
Well, that's not good then, is it? Really, to be fair, if he don't get back, he won't get back till Thursday. Probably won't train till Friday. So,
but the one thing I'd say is Reed playing for Jamaica. If he starts and does well, that's only good for us. If he carries on his form from yesterday and bags a goal for Jamaica, and then comes back and starts for Leicester, I feel like they need to start playing players into form. I think we're slowly seeing it. I mean, slowly. I say slowly, but we're slowly seeing it with Harry Winks. We're slowly seeing it with players like. I mean, Luke Thomas is since Millwall, since he came out of the team, the 2 times he's come off the bench, he's been really good. He's got to find a settled 11 because he does. I don't think he knows his strongest 11 yet. Like no striker has had. Well, Daka, for example, I think Daka's the best of the 3, and I don't think he's not started more than 2 games in a row. And I think when you're trying to replace a goal scorer like Vardy, who was there every week, and you decide not to bring a striker, or you do, but you wait until deadline day when he's very clearly weren't your number 1 target. You chopping and changing every week is giving none of them confidence. Whereas same with Mavididi and Monga. Mavididi started the season and his confidence dipped, and now whenever he comes on, you can see he's waiting for a goal to then bring his confidence up. But I'd play Mavididi on the left, read down the middle if he's fit enough, and then Daka, with James next to Winks.
Yeah.
Totally agree with that. Just one last thing before we go, which I wasn't really going to bring up. There was a bit of blue on blue yesterday in the crowd, and there was a bit of chanting that I totally disagree with about John Rudkin. Yes, getting sacked in the morning, but he has got, I'm not going to mention it, but he has got a family, and chants like that shouldn't really be allowed in football, Josh, should they really?
I read something on Twitter yesterday. I don't actually know the chant, but I think I know what you're going on. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
It's not right. I mean, he's got a family. It's not, getting sacked in the morning, you're not fit to run the or whatever, yes, but not the chants that were coming out yesterday. I think that's totally disrespectful, completely, and
I'm fully aware of the chants and stuff, and I don't like the bloke, but I mean, by all means, make your feelings that you don't want him anywhere near the club anymore and stuff like that. But to go to the extreme as what they were doing yesterday, especially, let's be fair, with little kids that were there, because it caused friction in between the fan base. That's not cool. That's probably put that little kid off going to a Leicester City match in the future now.
Nick, I think just watching Leicester would put a little kid off at the minute. To be fair.
No, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean, though, Jamie. If you've got, why do I want to go when the fans are fighting amongst themselves because some wallies decide to chant stuff like that? What's the point? I mean, I'm not his fan. I don't. You know my feelings towards King Power and Top. I want them gone because I think since the passing of Vishai, it's not been great, mate. You know, we've gone from that club that communicates with its fans and stuff like that, and it was brilliant, to now you don't get anything. It's like a complete and utter closed shop. You don't get any information whatsoever from them anymore. We don't know what's going on. When Vishai was here, we knew everything that was going on. So, but you don't chant that those things, like you said. As much as I don't like the bloke, he's got a family. You don't do that.
Yeah. Yes, he definitely has, unfortunately. But I didn't want to say that, but I thought I'd better bring it into conversation because people have asked me about it. So I thought I'd better bring it in. Josh, are you there for the Stoke game? Are you busy? Are you busy through the international week as well?
Yeah, I'm not. I'm going Thailand tomorrow for 2 weeks, so I will miss the Stoke game, and then I'm back. I'm back the afternoon of the Southampton game, but I won't be going to Southampton. I'll watch it from home. But so back for
going on holiday in the football season. That's not allowed.
Well, it's international break, isn't it? So which was I didn't really realise it was international break. It's good timing, really. But I'm not a massive fan of international breaks. Working in football during the international break is one of the, well, I say worst things about the job, but yeah, it's not enjoyable.
Hey, watching England play is worse than watching Leicester play sometimes. So yeah,
it can be sometimes. It can be. Right then, Josh. Thanks a lot, pal. You're going to do your packing for your holiday tomorrow.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
See you later. No problem, mate. We'll see you again soon, pal. Be good. Cheers, mate.
Cheers.
There we go. That was Josh from the Leicester Mercury. How are you then, Nick? Are you looking forward to it for a great international week?
I hate it, mate. I really do. I've been saying for years, it would make the leagues a bit more interesting if you said, okay, England's playing, but the league still continues. You know, the so-called big clubs lose all their superstars. It might throw up some interesting results.
How's the fella who had the heart issues at the last time game? He's still in hospital. He's a lot better.
He's stable. That's what I've heard.
He's stable. That's all that matters. He's in hospital. He's fine. Well, not fine, but he's okay. That's all I've heard. Only reports on social media and that. But yeah. Hopefully he gets better and we see him at the football very soon. Can you pick up some freebies? That's for Josh. Can you pick up some freebies in the King Power Duty Free? Nick, cheers for joining us, pal. Don't forget, I'm back for the Stoke game. I don't know why I'm coming back, but I'm back for the Stoke game. I'll be in and around the ground before and after the game.
Yeah. Well, make sure you have a couple of beers and before you watch it, mate. It will help. Trust me.
I might need it, pal. I might need it. All right, Nick. Cheers, pal. Thanks a lot, mate.
Cheers, mate. Take care.
See you later. Right. Much appreciated once again. All you lads and lasses turning up to watch me on a Sunday morning. That was Josh from the Leicester Mercury, or Leicester Live as it's called now. But like I say, much appreciated. But just a little bit of homework before you go. Please like and share. Whatever platform you're watching on, whether it's Facebook, whether it's YouTube, whether it's Twitter, just like and share. There goes the final whistle. Hopefully see you next week. So it's ciao, ciao, adios, goodbye, adieu.
The Leicester City machine is on the march again.
Leicester Fan TV presents a variety of content like fan discussions, match analysis, and engaging with Leicester fans worldwide. We want your views live, thanks to our sponsors, Everard's, Pucker Pies, Hologram, Take Me, Newbie & Co, and the Fox's Arms.
Want to watch more content like this? Hit the like button. Give us your views. Hit subscribe to Leicester Fan TV and make sure to follow Leicester Fan TV on all socials.